I grew up doing puzzles with my parents, especially on vacations, and puzzles still feel like vacation to me. Probably because there's no rush to finish. It's not speed puzzling. It's not really about completing it at all. It's the being together and quietly turning over pieces, spark when one finally clicks into place. It's curiosity, patience, trust. You believe it'll come together in its own time because there are a finite number of pieces and only one possible finished product. I believe that each of us is born as an undone jigsaw puzzle in a box. Too much of this world tells you you're not enough, or too much, or broken. I believe that in the puzzle that is you, there are no pieces missing. You have everything you need. What you don't have is the top of the box. Picture that tells you what the finished puzzle is supposed to look like. And if you're here with me now, I'm guessing you've been doing one of three things. Looking to other people to tell you what the puzzle is supposed to look like. Forcing the pieces together to match what you think it's supposed to be. Or giving up entirely. Assuming that pieces are missing and it'll never be whole. And listen, maybe for you it's not puzzles. Maybe it's building Lego sets or knitting or planting a garden, writing a song. Whatever it is, you know the truth. No one else can tell you what it's supposed to look like, and no one else can do the work of discovery for you. So let's reframe. What if life isn't about cramming pieces together or chasing someone else's picture? What if it's simply about honoring your puzzle, refusing to abandon the process, and trusting that the picture will reveal itself over time? That's what this work feels like for me. That's what being relentlessly me feels like. And that's this podcast. It's not self-help, it's self-honor. So that's the tagline. Let's talk about the title. Some people really push back on the word relentless, and I get it. The word can hold some really negative connotations, but for me, I'd like to reclaim it. Late in 2020, I came across a quote attributed to Michelangelo. The sculpture is already complete within the marble block before I start my work. It's already there. I just have to chisel away the superfluous material. And I kept writing about how this could apply to self-help culture. You don't find yourself because you're not lost. You simply remove what is not you, and you are the only one who can decide what's superfluous. But if you allow for the possibility that there's nothing wrong with you, and you be you, relentlessly, you will reveal the sculpture that's underneath. So one day I'm talking to my mom, and she's telling me about what it was like when I was in the womb, how I used to dig my toes into this spot between her ribs, and she would press gently, trying to nudge me to a more comfortable position, but I'd always find my way back to that spot right between her ribs. And I asked her what word came to her when she thought about who I would be. And she paused and she said, "Ugh, you were relentless." And I thought, there it is. That's the sign I needed. That's my confirmation. And that's how it came to me. Relentlessly Me. And I bought the domain name that night, relentlessly.me. Now, this is, to be clear, not the relentless of grind culture or toxic productivity or winning at all costs. It's not about being inconsiderate, unbending, or uncaring. It is the relentless devotion to self, relentless commitment to truth, and relentless persistence to becoming whole, holding the tension between honoring who you are and coexisting in a world full of other people at various stages in their journey. So we've talked about relentless, but why the reset? If this work is about finding our way back to our truest self, here's the next thing I really need you to hear. It's not going to be an achievement. A plane on autopilot doesn't fly in a straight line. It makes constant corrections, constantly resetting and realigning based on changing conditions. And we're the same. Even with the strongest intentions, no one stays perfectly aligned all day, every day. We get off track. We forget. We fall into old patterns. We lose sight of who we are. But if we're lucky or relentless enough, we reset. Each time we reset, we realign, And that's why I'd like to be here every week with a gentle invitation to return, whether you have met your goals or didn't, whether you're thriving or struggling. This space is not about perfection. As anyone who's ever worked with me can tell you, my motto is progress, not perfection. Because in a world, a society, a family that wants to tell us who we should be, this is a practice about answering one question. What does it mean, truly, to not abandon yourself? So every week you can come back here to reset, realign, and return to the work of honoring who you really are. You will not find prescriptions, formulas, or easy buttons here because, honestly, I'm not really interested in that. What you will find are honest, inevitably imperfect conversations, reflections, stories, moments that honor the messy middle of becoming. Some weeks it'll just be me sharing what I'm curious about or wrestling with or trying to understand, and some weeks might bring guests, new perspectives, or new pieces of the puzzle. But every week, this will be a place for self-honor, for curiosity, for coming home. So if you've already started the work, if you are somewhere on the road back to yourself, this is me saying, hop in. I'm going that way too. And I'm not here to tell you how to live. I'm here to figure it out alongside you. And before that beautiful brain of yours tries to turn this into homework or some kind of test, nope. You're not behind. There's nothing to catch up on. You're getting here exactly as you're meant to. If you want to keep resetting with me, subscribe or follow. We're just getting started.